Hi everyone, welcome to this class, 10th class Mathematics, Chapter 2, Sets. In this class, let us understand the concept of proper subset and universal set. What is proper subset? If A and B are two sets such that A subset of B and A not equal to B, then A is called proper subset of B. A subset of B means every element of A also belongs to B. Then A is called subset of B. And moreover, A should not be equal to B. That means B should contain at least one element other than in A. The number of elements in A and B should not be equal. Then A is called proper set of B. Let us understand this concept by taking an example. If A is equal to 1, 2, B is equal to 1, 2, 3. Here A is subset of B, but the elements which are in A are not equal to B. There is one extra element is there, it contains one extra element, one more element which is not in A. Therefore, A is called proper subset of B. We can write some proper subsets to this set. For example, taking one element each, we can write a set 1. We can write 2. We can write 3. By taking one element each in the set, we can write 3 sets. These 3 sets are subset of the given set. Moreover, these are proper subsets. By taking two elements 1, 2, 1, 3 and 1, 2, 1, 3 and 2, 3 by taking two elements. This is also subset of 1, 2, 3. And by taking 3 elements at a time, this is also subset of 3, and null set is subset of every set. How many elements are here? How many subsets are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Except this set, except this one, all the subsets are called proper subset of the given set B, 1, 2, 3. Why? Because here the elements are in this set are equal to here the given set. That's why except itself, all other subsets are proper subsets of B. Therefore, here A is called proper subset of B. Here A is called proper subset of B. To become a proper subset, it should have at least one extra element other than the given set. Then only it is called proper subset. Now let us understand the universal set. Here, universal set is represented by mu or U, capital U, sometimes capital U also. If all the sets under consideration are proper subsets of a fixed set, then we call the fixed set as the universal set of given sets. Let us understand the concept slowly. Here, if all the sets under consideration are proper subsets of a fixed set. For example, here A is the set of all the students of your school. In your school, if it is your school, high school, there are how many classes are there? 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. 5 classes are there. All the students in the 5 classes together it is a forms a school and it is a high school. So it contains 5 classes. So here that is A, and B is the set of all the students of 10th class of your school. B is the set of students which are studying 10th class, and C the set of students who are studying 9th class, and D the set of students who are studying 8th class. If you take E, F like that, these students belongs to 10th class and they are also belongs to your school. These students belongs to 9th class and they are also belongs to your school. And these students belongs to 8th class and also belongs to your school. Your school is also a set because every student of your school belongs to set of your school. What is the common property of every student? That is a student belongs to your school. Similarly, here 10th class student also belongs to your school, 9th class student belongs to your school, 8th class student belongs to your school. Therefore, your school is called universal set for these classes, not for other school students, only for your school classes. ఇక్కడ సెట్ 10th క్లాస్ చదివే ప్రతి విద్యార్థి మీ పాఠశాల విద్యార్థి. మీ పాఠశాల ఒక సెట్ బికాజ్ ఆల్ ది స్టూడెంట్స్ అందరు పిల్లలకు కూడా అందరు విద్యార్థులు కూడా ఒకే ఒక కామన్ ప్రాపర్టీ కలిగి ఉన్నారు. ఏంటి అనే మీ పాఠశాల విద్యార్థి. సో మీ పాఠశాల ఒక సెట్. అందులో ఉన్నటువంటి 10th క్లాస్ విద్యార్థి 10th క్లాస్ సెట్లో ఉంటాడు, మరియు మీ పాఠశాలలో ఉంటాడు. కాబట్టి 10th క్లాస్ చదివే విద్యార్థి 10th క్లాస్ సెట్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో ఏ సబ్సెట్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ స్కూల్. 9th class is also a subset of your school. 8th class is also a subset of your school. That's why this set of all students in your school is called universal set. Universal set for your classes, for your school classes 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th. For that 5 classes, this set is universal set, but not other school classes, for your classes only. So universal set, and it is represented by mu and also represented by u. So this is in this way we can understand that if all the students under consideration, means we are considering these students, these are proper subsets of a fixed set. These are proper subset of this set, this fixed set. That means your school fixed set. Then we call this set as universal set of given sets. All these given sets. Let us take an example for universal set. The second example. Let's take, this is a set P is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and A is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, set of even integers less than or equal to 10. B is equal to 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, odd numbers, odd natural numbers less than 10. C is equal to prime numbers less than 10. If you see, every element of A also belongs to the set P. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Therefore, A is subset of P. And B, in every element of B also belongs to set P. Therefore, B is subset of P. Every element of C also belongs to P. 2, 3, 5, 7. 2, 3, 5, 7. Therefore, C subset of P. Every set which we consider here is subset of the given set, and this set has more elements than these sets. Then this set is called universal set for these sets, not other sets. For these sets, it is called universal set. That's why it can be represented by mu for these sets. So this is universal set for A, B, C. If I take another set like this, D is equal to 10, 11, 12, 13. 11, 12, 13 is a set of elements in D. These elements do not exist in this set. Therefore, this set is not universal set for this set. So this is universal set for these sets only here. That should be understood. Next, let us understand this one. R. What is R? It is a set of real numbers. Set of real numbers means it is a set of rational and irrational numbers. Rational numbers means they are represented by Q, the set of numbers which can be written in the form of P by Q, where P comma Q belongs to integers and Q not equal to 0. That means the numbers can be written in the form of P by Q form, and P comma Q belongs to Z means 1 by 2, minus 3 by 5, 4 by 6, these are all fractions. Set of rational numbers. Set of Q dash, set of irrational numbers, the numbers which cannot be written in the form of P by Q. That means they are root 2, root 3 example for irrational numbers. We cannot write these root 3, root 2, root 3, root 5, root 6, root 7 in the form of P by Q. We have already discussed in previous videos. So these rational numbers and irrational numbers together known as real numbers. So rational number is subset of real numbers, irrational number also subset of real numbers. And Z is equal to integers, negative numbers, 0 and positive numbers. All these numbers are existed in real numbers. Therefore, Z is also subset of R. W also, W means whole set of whole numbers. That means natural numbers including 0 is called whole numbers. Whole number is also subset of R. Natural numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the numbers which are used for counting are called natural numbers. Natural number set also, these numbers also existed in real numbers. Therefore, N is subset of R. N is subset of R. W is subset of R. Z is subset of R. Q is subset of R. Q dash is subset of R. Therefore, R is called universal set. Universal set for all these sets. R is called universal set. Mu. Universal set for Q, Q dash, Z, W and N. Okay. Disjoint sets. What are called disjoint sets? If two sets do not have common elements, then they are called disjoint sets. If any two sets do not have any common elements, then they are called disjoint sets. For example, A is equal to 1, 2, 3, B is equal to 4, 5, 6. Here 1 belongs to A and 1 does not belongs to B. 2 belongs to A and 2 does not belongs to B. 3 belongs to A, 3 does not belongs to B. That's why these two sets are called disjoint sets. Some more examples for disjoint sets. Set of even numbers, and set of odd numbers. For example, set of even numbers let us represent set of even numbers by P, 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. Let us represent odd numbers by Q, 1, 3, 5, 7 and so on. There are no common elements in P and Q, because if a number is odd number, it is not even. If a number is an even number, it is not odd number. Therefore, P and Q are disjoint sets. There are no common elements. Similarly, we can write one more example. Set of prime numbers and set of composite numbers. Prime numbers which are not divisible by any other number except 1 and itself. We know that. Let us represent prime numbers by C 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 and so on. Let us represent the composite numbers by D. You can represent by any English capital letter. So here I will represent by D. Composite numbers, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. There are no common elements in C and D. That's why set of prime numbers and composite numbers are disjoint sets. Set of even numbers and odd numbers are disjoint sets. Okay.